Application. All right. Good morning, Ms Tsolova. Thank you for joining me on the 20th episode of One to Come Up, a podcast where aspiring entrepreneurs can learn from the best on the best of the best. Those on Forbes 30 under 30. I'm excited to learn more about JAMBA today and hear about your career.
Thank you so much, Danny. It's really nice to talk to you as well. And thank you so much for the invitation.
Of course. So, before we begin, could you tell everyone a little bit about yourself and about JAMBA, so everyone kind of knows what we're heading into?
Yes, of course. So I'm Iva Tsolova. I'm originally from Bulgaria. And in the last 5 years, I lived in Austria, Vienna. And yeah, maybe a little bit about my educational background. I studied first international relations and politics in Bulgaria. Then I did a program at Babson College for entrepreneurship. Afterwards, I did a 1 year program at the Shoka. It's an American organization, so maybe you know it, for social entrepreneurship. And last year, I also graduated with master's in environmental technologies and international relations. So this is about my educational background. And my whole life, I've been very passionate about social work and causes. So in my free time, I have volunteered a lot and supported different meaningful causes and important things for me personally. At the age of 21, I started my first company. It was about software development and graphic design. Then I co-founded an advertising agency that was in Bulgaria. And in 2017, together with my co-founder, Joanna Koleva, we started JAMBA, which is an organization that aims to support people with disabilities, different types of disabilities. And what we do is empowering them to learn and develop new skills, like soft skills, English, and professional skills in different professional areas. And afterwards, we support them to find a job. So we work not only with people with disabilities, but also with a lot of corporates. Uh, and we build the bridge between the two target groups.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like a really cool company. So going back a little bit, could you tell us like where it all began for you? Social entrepreneurship. I understand that maybe it began in high school when you were in Germany. Yeah, I heard about that program.
Yeah, so it started like this passion for social work and social entrepreneurship. It started when I was in the German high school here in Sofia, and it in like 11th grade, together with a couple of friends of mine from school, we were collecting clothes and food and different things. And we started visiting an orphanage here in Sofia. And it was very interesting conversation with the director of the orphanage, because the lady told us that the kids, they don't need stuff like clothes and food. They have these things. But what they would be very happy to like have more in their lives is actually to spend time with people, and especially young people like them. And she encouraged us if we want to spend some more time with them. So we started going there and spending quite often time with these kids there. And it was really eyes-opening experience for me to see and understand how fortunate I am to have a family, loving family, parents who are next to me and supporting me so much and loving me, while other kids unfortunately don't have this in their lives. And this is the reason why I told myself that with my free time, I want to do something that helps other people. And yeah.
Well, I think that's a very cool program and a very worthwhile cause. So, before you started Jamba, you had mentioned you started a website development company and also an advertising agency, and you were a waiter briefly. So, could you tell us about these experiences and how they?
Yes, of course, definitely. So my first job in my life when I had a boss actually was when I was in school in the university here in Bulgaria. And yeah, that was the way how I started earning money. I learned to be responsible, to take care of myself, and to be independent from my parents. And it was also a great way to collect some money and make some savings because that helped me to start my first company. It was actually, we were three co-founders. I had two other co-founders. And yeah, so this was a great experience to become more independent. And then I was actually, as I told you, 21, so quite young and very green, so to say, like almost no experience. And especially because I was not a professional in the IT sector. And we started a company in this field. So yeah, the guys that I was working with, they were experienced in this sector. So I was mostly responsible for finding clients, the administrative work, promotion, marketing, and stuff like that. And it was very, very cool experience. And the cool thing was that we even had our first clients before officially establishing the company. So that was a very, very nice thing. And later on, as I told you, in my free time, I was always volunteering ever since 17. So I had the chance to meet Joanna, my current co-founder, in one NGO. We were working with people with hearing impairments. So that's where we met. We became friends. Her background is also in the marketing and advertising field and event management as well. And then we were like, why don't we start something together, like an advertising agency? So that's how we co-founded this thing. And it was also very interesting journey to work with quite big companies here in Bulgaria. And also it was the first like advertising agency with a cause. So we were doing a lot of CSR projects, like marketing with cause. And that was very, very new in Bulgaria. Almost nobody was doing it. So that's why we wanted to combine our love for like meaningful causes and supporting the NGO sector, but also our professional background in these other fields like marketing and event management and advertising. And that was also the place where we first have hired people with disabilities in the team. So there was a guy who was doing graphic design, photography, another person. So we were also involving in the event management and realization and coordination, also other people with disabilities. So we saw that they can be actually super successful and to do great job. What they need is support. And thanks to our experience with people with hearing impairments in the NGO, we saw that there is a very big need. So yeah, that's how JAMBA was born. And that was actually the natural continuation of the advertising agency. So in 2017, we started this social entrepreneurial project. And now it operates in Bulgaria and also in Austria.
Well, that's awesome to see how it's come along through the years, from where it started, and now
Yeah.
you're in three different countries. That's a very cool story.
Yeah.
So yeah, could you actually tell us a little about when you started Jamba? Because I understand, like you said, there were some months before where you were just trying to get it started, and then you finally got some people on board, and you built your platform, and you hired someone. So could you
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, of course. Well, when we started it, it was super, super tough. And not only in the beginning, but actually for quite some time. Because, again, that was very, very new. And it's in Bulgaria, it's still the only project, only social enterprise or organization that supports people with disabilities in that aspect. So there is nobody else doing it all these years. And of course, in the beginning, when you start something new, that is not typical. people react with like no chance, give up and stuff like that. So in the beginning, when it was still only an idea, we we were reaching out to some people that we know, also other people that we didn't know, like cold calling and cold emailing and stuff like that. And I vividly remember a conversation with two women representatives from the social ministry at that time, like 8 years ago. And we just wanted to share our idea to get some feedback, some maybe ideas how to proceed forward and stuff like that. So these ladies, they heard us, and then afterwards they told us, girls, this is really almost impossible. There is no potential in this idea, and better give up and find something appropriate and suitable for women, whatever that means. And yeah, we didn't give up. Um, we continued. And afterwards, we heard the word no many, many times, really. But that didn't make us quit. It even gave us more motivation because step by step, also people with disabilities started trusting us, because that's another aspect that in Bulgaria, people with disabilities, they really don't trust anyone because many people promise them things and they never happen. So for us was very important to build this trust towards this group of individuals and to show them that what we do is really meaningful and can help them, can give them a new perspective, new life actually. Because imagine being more or less trapped in your apartment, not being able to go out very often just because the infrastructure is not accessible, not meeting people, not earning money, living with just like a couple of €100 and barely at the line of poverty, and just like no social, no life. And once they graduate from our programs, and afterwards once they start work, these people, they they live in a totally different way. So the happiness and the joy and the gratitude that you see in the lives in the eyes of these people, that's really amazing.
Wow, that is very amazing that you kind of persevered through that, and now what your program's able to do. So, and I guess that also is part of your recognition for a Zero Project Award, right? In 2021. So, could you tell us a little bit about the significance there and what does that mean?
Yes, of course. So Zero Project, it's an Austrian organization, and this organization is doing like annual awards, and it's actually a global initiative. So they recognize each year the champions, so to say, in different fields, but only focused on the work and the support of individuals with disabilities. So it can be employment, like the topic of the awards for this year can be either like ICT or employment or education or like different topics. So every year there is a very, very long list of organizations that apply, and only around 50, I think, get the award from all over the world. And only 10 of these organizations also get into to their accelerator program for social entrepreneurship and for scaling their work. And we were actually not only awarded, but we were also part of this accelerator program.
Wow, so could you actually tell us a little bit about that accelerator program? And that's something I hadn't learned about.
Yes, of course. So it was very, very helpful because first of all, the people, the trainers who organized different workshops and sessions, they were really very experienced people in their field, like finance, like marketing and advertising, like business modeling and stuff like that. So there were, I think, 7 or 8 modules of this accelerator program. And yeah, we were together with a group of really amazing other projects from India, from Australia, from Chile, from Spain, yeah, really all over the world. And yeah, it was very helpful for us to further improve our growth strategy and also business plan. Of course, we already had one, but it's always good to further refine it and improve it. So yeah, and also to get in contact at the end, like during the awards, we also had the chance to pitch our project, and we actually were able to establish a couple of very, very nice partnerships and to start conversations also with potential investors. And yeah.
Cool. So that sounds like a very cool program. Also, that one. Um, so how were you able to expand? Because I understand that you know, you're in 3 different countries now, and that each one is so different. You know, with the, you know, legal systems and the employers there, and you know, the perception of people with disabilities. So how were you able to expand and to scale up?
Well, like as I told you, we started in Bulgaria in 2017 officially, and that was our first location, and it's also our most experienced team, and also with the most impact and like at growth stage as well, like level of development. Then in 2019, one woman from Hungary reached out to us, and she actually found out about JAMBA because she knows a young man from Bulgaria who is a lawyer. He's with visual impairment, and he was able to find a job with our support. So that's how she found out about the project. And she was like, yeah, I really want to start something like that together with somebody, like not start it from scratch, but if it's possible to like bring your project in Hungary. And we agreed, and we've worked together for until actually last year. So last year we decided that we will separate parts, and they will rebrand with another name. And yeah, for like these years, I think 5 years, we've worked together. And Austria, because in 2019, in the middle of the year, I also moved there with my husband. So it was also a natural continuation with my co-founder. We discussed it that I want to continue being involved in the project, but when you're not physically somewhere, it's hard to take part in the operational work, like day-to-day work. So in terms of strategic topics and important decisions and stuff like that, it's one thing to be involved, but really day to day, it's not possible. So we decided to actually start a new legal entity and started from scratch also in Austria. So yeah, I found there really amazing people who joined me, who believed in the idea, all of them very experienced in different fields, but also somehow connected with the topic of disability and inclusion. And we started the project. The challenging thing was that we started in the beginning of COVID. So it was like April 2020. And as you can imagine, like when you organize educational programs and you offer employment services for people, it really requires a lot of um, communication and personal contact, like face to face. And especially when you start in a new market, which is totally different because like Bulgaria and Hungary, they're quite similar in terms of level of economical, social development, political situation as well. Quite unstable, unfortunately, at the moment. Um, but Austria, it's a totally different reality. And also there, Jamba is not a pioneer like in Bulgaria and Hungary, but there are other organizations that are offering similar services, not exactly the same. So for us was really in the beginning a challenge to find the specific niche to adapt our solution according to the local reality. And yeah, we did our research in the beginning. And we found out actually that there is no organization who supports people with disabilities with education and employment, but in the AI sector and ICT sector. So the technology field, like the digital world. And that was our decision. That was our market fit. And that's how we started the initiative. But of course, we also faced another challenges like reaching out the target group of people with disabilities in the middle of COVID because of communicational channels. And yeah, it was quite hard, I would say. But again, amazing experience because when you work with people with big hearts and who you have the same, we share the same vision and ideas, you make things happen.
Yeah, and it doesn't sound like it was your first challenge either, COVID, but another one that you persevered through. So
Yeah.
I'm going off a little bit off topic, but and I'm not quite sure where this fits in the timeline. But I wanted to ask about you were a youth delegate. Am I correct at the 71st session of the UN General Assembly? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean that sounds very cool, and so I don't know. I'd be interested to hear what that is and what does that entail.
Yeah, that's another passion of mine. As I told you, I studied politics and international relations. And yeah, in my volunteering work, I was also quite interested in like diplomacy and that kind of topics. So every year there is this program. It's like kind of a youth ambassador, which is selected. So each year a lot of young people apply for this. And it's quite a long process of selection. So it's actually 4 rounds. First, you write like an application form and an essay. Then the second round is like they have to know what your plan for the potential future term is going to be, like what activities you're going to realize and what topics you're going to um, work for and advocate for. Then also a lot, quite long questionnaire about UN and your understanding of the organization, how everything functions there. And the third one is an assessment center. And the final round is actually a speech in front of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Diplomatic Institute in Bulgaria, and like a jury of 16 important people
Wow.
representing these institutions and organizations and ambassadors as well. And yeah, so it was a successful selection process for me. And out of these many people, I was very fortunate that I was selected together with one other great young girl, Alexandra. So we were actually able to go to the UN a couple of times to take part in the General Assembly, in the at the ECOSOC, to give official speeches during them, to work with other delegates from really many countries. I think it's now the program is active in more than 40 countries around the world. To organize their high-level political events with ambassadors and ministers and youth delegates and NGOs and the UN. And yeah, it was super interesting experience. And just to feel from like this first person experience how the world of diplomacy on one of the highest levels works, it's really great. And yeah, actually thanks to that I also was able to travel to really great places like South Korea and Tunisia and other places. And I also was able to apply for EU delegate for to the Council of Europe. So it's
Wow.
actually the same program, but just on a European level. So you go to Strasbourg and you attend again there a couple of sessions. You give speeches, again organizing events, projects with EU delegates. And yeah, I would say it's a very interesting field. And Yeah, afterwards, I was also involved in as a campaign manager for like political elections here in Bulgaria. Like 3 times, I worked
Ah,
with the Democratic Party. So it was also a very interesting angle and aspect to see at a young age how actually things in politics and diplomacy work, and how you participate in these processes. And for, of course, unfortunately, because I mean, the country where I come from, there is a lot of corruption still. It's post-communist country, and not everything is beautiful, and a lot of things need still to be improved and changed. But it was a really great experience at an early age.
yeah, it sounds very cool. Um, anyway, so I guess getting back to Jamba now. Yeah, so I guess what do you see, the future of, well, not the future of Jamba, but what are you guys doing right now, 2024, 2025? What are your, major focuses on and some of your challenges?
Well, focuses and things that we're realizing. So the team in Bulgaria, we were finally able to open the doors of the first career center for people with disabilities in Bulgaria, like a physical space, big one, where amazing things are happening on an everyday basis, like a lot of trainings, events, social ones, educational ones, corporate ones as well. So yeah, every day and every week, a lot of people go there, learn, are able to develop and find afterwards their professional path thanks to the organization. So that was a very, very big dream of ours. And we are very happy that it happened a couple of years ago. So one of the things is to further develop these things. In Bulgaria, there are also a couple of additional services that, like, kind of social, micro social enterprises in the social enterprise. Like one is catering with calls, so catering services from everything is prepared by people with disabilities, and mostly corporates are clients of this service for everything like conferences, events, and stuff like that. So that's a very nice thing because the organization is able to employ these people and offer additional services. And another thing that is happening as like such micro social enterprise is gifts with a cause, like products, nature products, sustainable ones that are again produced by people with disabilities, like candles, soaps, chocolate, and stuff like that. Um, and yeah, so one of the ideas is these activities to be further developed. It takes time, energy, like resources and everything. So that's one of the projects for Bulgaria. And of course, as many more training programs as possible and as many more people employed and hired somewhere. That's a focus of us. And another thing, like for Austria, our focus there, we have an entrepreneurship academy for women with disabilities. So this is a really cool initiative that we are delivering in the organizing in the last 2 years, and we would like to continue building up on this and create a like more international community, and as a next step, like bring this to other countries. So hopefully this is going to happen. And something that we're working on and hopefully is going to start its actual development is a platform which is an educational one, like capacity building one, again for people with disabilities, which is accessible and offers training programs in the digital sector. So yeah, that's another thing, and yeah, we'll. That I think it's enough.
Yeah, well, it certainly sounds like a lot, and that
Um,
definitely is enough, I guess.
yeah.
Well, Ms. Tsolova, it was really enjoyable to hear about your career and to hear about Jamba and all the incredible things you've done and you are going to do. So, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you very much, Danny. It was a pleasure as well, and I wish you the best of luck. And yeah, thanks again for the invitation.
Thank you, of course.